Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you get my sound? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It's working? Can you hear me now? Yes, I hope you can be able to get me. Sorry, I apologize for having some sound technicalities on my machine here. But definitely we shall be able to proceed with our peace chat. I'll begin with my introduction. My name's Julius Khamati Kuya. I am a community leader of Kipepeo Community Empowerment Program and also in charge of entrepreneurship training, microfinance, and also the management of the organization. I am one of the founder member of this non-profit organization, Kipepeo Community Empowerment Program, which is located in Luanda in Western Kenya, Africa. Kipepeo Community Empowerment Program was initiated in the year 2009, 10 years ago, and the key factor that we have been using to empower people in our communities is through the power of voluntary service. And our organization is a full partner of SCI, having projects that we are implementing together with the Service Civil International to deploy volunteers, to get volunteers, both local and international, to come and offer their skills to support various areas that people and organizations in our communities are in need of. So Kipepeo Community Empowerment Program, basically we are doing integrated projects with the aim of empowering people in our local communities to be able to realize their potential and be able to meet the livelihood needs. Kenya being one of the developing countries in Africa, there is scarcity of resources, scarcity of ideas, scarcity of knowledge. People have the spirit to do something. Therefore, having volunteers coming to build, team up, work alongside with the local, it is strengthening them, giving them power to be able to produce and be able to engage into meaningful actions that support their livelihood needs and be able to bring food on their table. So in the line of empowering our local communities here in Kenya, our organization, Kipepeo Community Empowerment Program, engages various mode of actions so that it is able to empower people on the local platform here in the community. And one of the key things we are doing as a community-based organization, non-profit, through voluntary service, is to create an opportunity for young people, women, and children to be able to realize their potential and engage into meaningful activities. And we are providing computer training to young people in the community. Through our organization, we have a computer training center where young people are able to come, learn how to use the best computer, getting the basics. Those especially who can't afford to go to conventional college, they are able to come to a facility, get training in how to use ICT skills. Then at the end of the training, 2 months, they get certification. Then they are able now to find some jobs which can able support themselves and even support their families. Our organization also, we are doing a permaculture design project where we have a learning land center. We have a resource center land where we are providing permaculture design training And we have demonstration plots where people are able to come and learn. People from the community come, learn, get skills, knowledge, which in turn enables them to go and implement the same back home. And in this permaculture, people are able to produce food on a sustainable basis, especially like looking upon the current situation of COVID-19, whereby everything is locked. So permaculture remains one of the key resources to support local communities with the constant food supply to enable them meet their needs. We are also having healthy projects whereby we are able to deploy volunteers and people to community healthy facilities like local hospitals. Most of the local hospitals here doesn't have enough staffing. So it is also one of the projects we get out with the local volunteers plus international volunteers to go create awareness about healthy, like doing stone paintings, creating awareness for diseases like malaria, HIV, so that those people, some who are busy or who are not able to go to these facilities, are able to get this message and take home this message. Also, Kipepeo Community Empowerment Program, we are also running a community education center where we are able to provide education to children from needy background in the communities with the basic primary skills so that we bridge the gap. Those who can't afford the public, they are able to get a place to learn, to get opportunity like any other children in the country or in the world. Also, as an organization, we organize work camps. So we have 3 weeks work camp, which are short term, whereby when we get volunteers, they are able to engage into something like construction work, manual work. We have been building a community resource center. They engage in it. They can also go to local community school. They help even in painting, in landscaping, in building, repairing classes, repairing desks. So we are able to create various types of work camps on various points in our communities, points of need, like schools, hospitals, and community resource centers. Also, Kipepeo organization, we also organize international exchange program through Erasmus projects. We are also participating in some of the Erasmus projects that also provide opportunity for youths and people from the community volunteers to get international exchange through Erasmus projects, whereby we are able to connect with the international partners, learn from them, exchange ideas, exchange skills. Then in turn, we also come and implement local actions in our community, which also involves young people, youths, women, building their capacities, building their potentials, giving them skills, empowering them. And in turn, they are able to go and implement some small local actions back on their own at their home and even in local village groups in the community. Also, Kipepeo Community Empowerment Program, we are running community microfinance project. And under this community microfinance project, it is what we call village savings and loaning. This is a model whereby we mobilize members of the community, especially women. We bring them together, like minimum of 10 to 30. We give them 3 days training. This training, which involves record keeping, how to create constitution, how to manage their businesses, and also cash flow. Then these members of the community, they are able to save and loan themselves. So there's no external funding. They are able to save on their own. Then they are in turn able to loan themselves and initiate small-scale businesses. After running this program from the year 2009, 2 years ago, we initiated a pilot project called Jenga Jamii so that we can also see the potential of these women getting some small external funding to be able to run their businesses. And this was after we saw the need of more capital to initiate businesses after various engagements with them. And it is great, doing well, and people have shown the interest if they got the capacity training, information, and financial resource ideas like how to keep records, how to initiate business, how to manage their business, which often is also provided by international volunteers supporting our project. They are able to start their own small businesses, run their businesses effectively, and in the end of the day, they are able to meet their livelihood needs and start even bigger projects to support themselves at home. Also, one of the key things has been how do we make our organization sustainable? And that's why we came up with one project called Community Resource Center, building a community resource center. So currently, we are building a community resource center that is going to provide space for our office, that's going to provide space for computer training for young people, that is going to provide space for community library, that is going to provide space for community tailoring school to provide people with skills in tailoring and even carpentry. Also, we got extra rooms, which will also be used by people coming to volunteer to a project. So it is one of the key major projects we are currently working on. And if you can check on our page, you can see we are fundraising. And even now, we have international volunteers right here with us. So we are not just locked in because of COVID-19, but there's something happening. They're actually on the ground, working on permaculture design, working on the design of the websites and other online activities, working on fundraising, and physically working on the building and ensuring the resource center is complete so that it provides a platform to empower local people in the communities with ideas, information, knowledge, skills, so that they are able to support their livelihood needs in a very sustainable way. So our key thing also, we try to harness the power and the potential in everyone, because we believe as an organization, there is something good in everyone. And that something good that is in everyone is what we try to look to tap it so that we can bring it on board, be able to utilize it. Then in the long run, create a bridge to support community people to be able to meet their needs and create some sustainability on what they are living on in the community. So as an organization, we have been able to create various projects with the SCI International, because SCI has been a key partner into our projects, deploying volunteers to our projects, and we in turn spreading them across our country, Kenya. Being the partner of SCI in Kenya, we are mandated of identifying various needs in the community and getting volunteers that will match the needs. And that's exactly what we do. So one of the key projects we have designed together with the SCI is permaculture design and farming. So under this permaculture design and farming, we have developed demonstration plots in our land. And these demonstration plots in our land, they are able to provide concrete training to local communities. They are able to provide skills, practicals. People come there, learn practically what they can do, what they can implement, how you can play with the soil. We say how you can play with the soil, then you get fruits from the soil. So that's basically what we are doing under permaculture project. And it has opportunities for permaculture designers, environmentalists, and the people with various skills in farming and environment. They are a key area that we need volunteers to come and help support. We also got community healthy volunteers, and we understand very well having scarcity on community healthy facilities in our area. There is a need to have people to support healthy workers that are employed by the government. And therefore, that's why we have community healthy volunteers. Under this community healthy volunteers, we are able to deploy various volunteers to healthy facilities, but this one work right with the local people in the communities. There are those people who can't go to hospital to access medication or healthy facilities. They are incapacitated. For example, those people who are HIV positive, they are supposed to take medication like on weekly basis or monthly basis, and majority default. So we come in handy to provide such a like services. So by linking them with the international volunteers and local volunteers, we link people to healthy facilities. We also have construction work and manual activities which happen at our community resource center. We are building community resource center at our organization. At the same time, we identify local schools in the community that need repair, construction, manual work, making bricks, landscaping, repairing of desks, or even building some structures, painting, and volunteers have been of great value, empowering various institutions locally here in Kenya with the skills, potentials, and new knowledge and new ideas that no one knew about. So it has been a key thing that has been able to support our community engagements. We also have nursing and clinical services work. So under nursing, we also get medical volunteers who are able to get to deployed to community healthy facilities. We have the volunteers at Viga County Referral Hospital. We have the volunteers at Mhaya Healthy Hospital, Msenjeli, Liangoma, and various areas. So, and they are providing key competencies in medical field, enabling a support the local staffs in the community with their knowledge, and hence providing services to local people. Support orphans in the community and the children to be able to meet their needs. There is actually a big challenge in local communities in Kenya. There is slum. There is also children who have been neglected. They are on the streets like street children. We also have those whose parents have died. So we try to come up with the solutions that can support them. So we also have work camps. So if there is somebody who can want to participate in work camps, we got 3 weeks work camps, whereby people can also come together, provide knowledge, skills, ideas in a given action, construction. We can have medical work camps. We have had even traveling work camps where people move from different countries, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, providing trainings, information on voluntary service and basis. So there is ways we normally say and tell people there is a way you can volunteer, for example, in Kenya and even in Africa, how to avoid voluntarism. The key thing we say we recommend is to identify local-based organizations in these countries that are really working with the right people on the ground and supporting people on the ground, and they know and understand the needs of the people on the ground. Also, the key thing is also to figure your skills and knowledge and try to apply it efficiently, because we believe there is something good in you, and what in you, that skill, it basically can support the local communities here. Also, it gives you opportunity to connect with the local people, local communities. There are people who want to learn from you. There are people you can also learn to. While volunteering with this local organization, you get a better position for you to be able to connect with these local people. So they'll show you their culture, they take you through their language, they travel with you. Like where we are located, we got very nice, good sceneries. You can do hiking, you can go for boat ride, you can go to Kakamega rainforest, you can basically travel around. You can go to Masai Mara, you can all enjoy all what nature provides. At the same time, you are volunteering and supporting local community engagement and local community initiatives. I'll try to answer some of the questions. There's this question: in your experience, what is the best preparation that one volunteer can do before participating in the SCI North-South project? The best preparation that a volunteer can do to participate in this North-South project is first align your heart, your mind with the reality that's happening in Africa. You might have heard or read or get information. So the key thing, you must have that willingness to connect with the Africa or organization in the North-South and be able to be part and parcel of it, and get yourself out motivated to go and offer your skills wholly on a voluntary basis. So the key thing, the key preparation is for you to prepare yourself psychologically, mentally, that I am going to a different country, a different world, which is totally unique, but with the very living people. That's the most key thing. Second, there is information that is provided. Like, for example, all volunteers who volunteer on a project, they get information guide sheet. So under this information guide sheet, it enables to provide information to volunteers who are coming to a project. One, it highlights where we are located and what we do. We are located in Kenya and we do our activities across the country. For example, two, you need to know which project am I going to undertake. So there's a number of projects and we give opportunities for volunteers to explore various activities that they can do within our organization. Then another thing, there is also requirement about clothes to bring while you are coming to volunteer. For example, if you're working in permaculture design, that's purely farm work, farming, you need some boots, maybe overall or clothes you can use in the farm. So those are some of the things we try to let volunteers get prepared to be able to understand, to know. And a key thing also is to note that there is an open space for learning. As much as people come to volunteer, you don't just come to volunteer, but you also get to learn something that will also turn and change your life. Also, we also tell volunteers to be flexible. While you're coming to volunteer, be flexible. For example, look upon what is happening now. Even we currently got volunteers who are at the project. There is some projects which cannot happen because of COVID-19, but since you have volunteers, we have to switch into something that is realistic. That's why we do permaculture farming. We are working on the community resource center, landscaping. We're also working on the designing websites, working online, creating some content to support our local projects here. So there is something that volunteers who are on the ground remain relevant in case the project design out is not being achieved, for example, at the moment. So we create something to support them. And in the long run, they get in the system. Like those who are here, they are in the system and we are able to do great work together as a team. Jethron is asking, what does open mind and flexibility means to volunteer? Open mind means that you are able to learn, you are able to receive ideas. You are not like fixed. I said I'm using this road, so it is this road. No, maybe that road is blocked ahead, so you need to switch, change, take a different one, and that's what you call being able to be open-minded. Take other people's views as much also you give your views. That's being open-minded. Flexibility also is one of the key things. For example, with the COVID-19, I know very many projects are affected. Volunteers are not coming, or volunteers are also there, and some projects cannot be done. For example, volunteers going to healthy facility in a hospital. Hospital currently globally remains one of the risky areas for coronavirus. So it's not a place we can recommend our volunteers to go. Not we are blocking them, but we also look upon the health safety of our volunteers. That's why we adjust and change to a different projects. And that's why flexibility becomes very many key. And also maybe volunteers also, you may realize maybe the project you chose doesn't go with the your alignment of your interest. So there should be flexibility for you to change to a different project that you believe will be able to achieve your goals of coming to volunteer in Africa, for example, or North South. Thank you, Willibar. I remember you, Willibert. I remember you met you in APM in 2019. So volunteering remains one of the key tools to enable create sustainable communities. And that's why we say and promote and say volunteers should be able to come and offer their skills, so that they also help these local communities with the ideas and information to be able to create some sustainable actions that are regenerative in nature and go a long way. Could you give some tips to increase the sustainability of projects and actions in the field that are carried out mostly with the volunteers? The first thing to create sustainability in the fields and activities carried out by volunteers is by volunteers working alongside with the local communities. Like, for example, a volunteer is implementing, design a website for a community. Community involved should be part of the process so that they can also ensure the long lasting of the initiative. Even when the volunteers are not there, the process should continue. But one of also the key thing in creating sustainability for actions of volunteers is also volunteers with the local communities involved in a given project coming together to brainstorm and generate ideas for implementation together with the volunteers. In that way, in that situation, local communities feels a sense of ownership. So they own the idea, they own everything. So even when the volunteer leaves, they got ideas, they got information, the project will still go and run a long way. Another thing is also to try to put some metric measures in place. For example, we have designed a newsletter with a volunteer. So this volunteer leaves. So the newsletter should be a continuation process. You've said this for 3 months, volunteer should be also getting a copy, plus other people in the project should be getting it on a continuous basis as the way it has been agreed. So there should be some things to check, to offer some checks. And these checks, the local communities are supposed to be part and parcel of the process to ensure sustainability in everything that is happening. Another thing is, where possible, documentation should take place. Like, you are working on a project, you are doing something. We have done, for example, designing of a permaculture farm with the volunteers. We came up with a design map. So we are able to use that map. Even without those volunteers, the map is still accessible. Those future volunteers who are coming to a project, they still use the same map. So you don't go again to create another one. So that's the key thing. The last one is responsibility by the local community to ensure that local communities can keep all these documents in a very safe way for future reference, for future use, so that it can go a long way. Jethron, what advice can you give to volunteers who think can change a system in one day? The advice I'll give is that everything takes time, and actually voluntary, it is a process. It is not a one-day event. Sometimes if you come here, you may be overwhelmed with very many ideas. And these ideas, if you want to attack and handle them at once, you may not achieve anything in the long run. So the best way is to be able to understand the system, how things work locally here. Then also go step by step, looking on the issue of sustainability, which you have spoken up above there, which is the key thing. Like, whatever you do, is it realistic? Is it sustainable? Can it go a long way, even minus my presence as a volunteer? That's the key thing. So the most important thing is for each and everyone to realize that change is important, yes, but change cannot happen fortnight. It is something that requires process, and this process requires involving more than 2 people in the process, ideas, information, documentation, learning and relearning, which are the key resources to ensure that whatever change you want to bring is realistic. So more so, we have opportunities for people who want to come and volunteer. Despite even COVID-19, we have projects for people who can help volunteering online. So I believe very many organizations, they got some things which can go online, preparing information, sharing with the people what is happening. We got websites, social media accounts, and more things that can be done online to support projects in North South, which are in need of these skills and this knowledge. And when everything becomes settled, our doors are always open, and we welcome volunteers throughout. And there's more work, there's more activities. Even now with the COVID-19, there's more activities that's happening here in our organization here in Kenya, and I believe in other partners in Africa. There's also something that's happening there which we can embrace and help bring a change, however small it might be. Wherever we are, it creates a very much big impact to local communities, to local people, to local organizations like our organization, Kipepeo Community Empowerment. It enables us to bridge the gap and create some sense of sustainability in the local actions that we are doing here to empower people in the communities. Thank you for all these interesting insights. You are very much welcome. And I believe this is not the end. SCI is doing a very great work creating such a platform to connect with people, to enable people share, to enable people communicate, to enable people know that there is something happening across the borders that somebody can do. Even if you are locked inside your house, there's something you can do there. It doesn't mean it's the end. There is something we can do, basically, all of us, to try to create some sense in current situation in this world we are living in, so that we can also feel, the earth can also feel it is also worth to deserve our support as human beings, the way it has been supporting us. So SCI remains one of the key platform, and for those who want to offer their voluntary service across the world, you can just check on SCI Service Civil International platform. There is a work camps, there is short-term placement, there is long-term placement, and you can be able to choose a project that will be able to meet your needs. Will be able to do something to bring sustainability, to support somebody somewhere. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter. There are a lot of organizations, a lot of people who are just waiting and looking. Who is that will come to our rescue with information, with ideas to be part of us, to feel that we are together as a community. So feel free to check on what is happening so that you are able to create something even for yourself and for everyone. BSI placements, thank you too for being part of these chats, and you feel welcome. So let's heal the world and make it a global village. Thank you, Jethron. That is our call, everyone. If we put our efforts together as a team, we shall be able to heal the world and create it and make it a better place for everyone, because this world, it is what is supporting us, especially looking upon what is happening right now, the situation. We all need our mother nature like yesterday, like never before, because we know and understand it is the key thing that is supporting what we call life and what make us to be who we are. So I also be able to share with you some of the tips to volunteer in Kenya. The key thing is do it with the local, do it with the people on the ground. Those are the people who understand the needs. They will link you right to the people who need your services, your skills. We are right in the community, not in the city, in the community, whereby you will walk even to the office, walk back, walk to the farm, walk to the hospital, walk wherever, meeting with local people, talking to local people, learning the local language and interacting with them. That's the most key thing. Also learn a few local words. So alongside your journey of volunteering, for example, in Kenya here, you get to mingle with the local people. Then you are able to learn some couple of local words, for example, jambo, hello, hakuna matata, naitwa nani. So you get to communicate in the local language. And when you communicate in the local language as a volunteer with the local people, they also feel like a sense of belonging. They feel a sense of belonging and they feel like you are part and parcel of them. So that is the key thing. And that's why in organization also we provide Swahili classes for volunteers who want to come to volunteer project. We take you to, we got classes where you can learn Swahili. When you learn Swahili, you are able to communicate with local people. Swahili is spoken across the country. Everybody in Kenya speaks Swahili. So as a volunteer, when you learn Swahili, you are able to communicate easily with the local people. Also, another key thing volunteering here, tips for volunteering here is that don't miss delicious cuisines. There is always very delicious meals that are provided by local people here. As a volunteer, you will participate in cooking. So you also learn how to make some voluntary, some local foods in the African setup. So you learn with the local communities. You taste all this. We got matoke, we got chapati beans, we got favorite ugali nyama, ugali sukuma. And as an organization, right now we are running fundraising to be able to support our community resource center, and we are designing a recipe book for those people who are supporting initiative. One of the present they're able to get for their support to a project is for them to get a recipe book with the African dishes. So wherever you are in a country, you can decide one night, one day in your family, with your family, you are going to make African dishes. For example, you want to make ugali sukuma. So we explain to you how to make ugali sukuma. You want to make chapati. How do you make chapati? You want to make mandazi. So we are listing all African dishes in that recipe book. And it is one of the awards we are giving out to people who are supporting our current fundraising initiatives to help complete our community resource center. So that is also one of the key areas of volunteering. And this recipe book will also be available to all volunteers who will be joining our project here in Kenya. So when you come to Kenya, when you leave after volunteering, you leave with a recipe book for African dishes. So you can go prepare some wonderful, delicious meal, African meal with your family when you come back after your journey of voluntary service with your project here in Kenya. When do you host volunteers and why? The reason why we host volunteers is to be able to get ideas and knowledge, skills knowledge, to help bridge the gap with skills knowledge that these international volunteers have with the local communities. Also, we create a way to create a peace and a solidarity worldwide. We want to create and connect people. We want people to feel they are one and similar. Despite the challenges people go through, despite challenges people face, we want to enable, connect people. We want them to feel they are one and parcel of each other. That's what we are doing voluntary service. And the key thing is the knowledge, skills we get from these volunteers. And not only we receiving, but we also getting the opportunity to share and exchange what we know with these international volunteers coming to our projects. So these volunteers, they also learn. They don't just come here to give their skills, but there's something they learn. There are those who change their life. There are those who go back to their home country, total changed person. The way they do things in a total different way. They appreciate everything they have after seeing what's happening here. So it's a very good, nice intercultural exchange platform we're able to create through Civil Service International. So we create a project here in Kenya. So if you want to volunteer in Kenya, Africa, choose Kipepeo Community Empowerment Program. We got various projects that we believe they will be able to meet your needs as a volunteer and they give you a lifetime experience that will always remain one of the historic in your life. Okay, for those information, I understand you will be able to make some wonderful choices. Those people who want to be able to partner with the Kipepeo through SCI, those who want to volunteer through SCI, check on Service Civil International. There is more opportunities. You can be able to come and offer your skills and your knowledge here in Kenya and touch somebody's life. Then in the long run, also transform your life. It's a two-way street. You give, you take. You teach, you learn. You share, they share. That's the key and the motto here. And I appreciate all those volunteers who are taking initiative to come and offer their service of voluntary skills to our organization and to support our local communities here. Last question as we end, why do you need a big smile to be part of a Kenyan society and community? Because everybody here is smiling, everybody here is happy despite the challenge. For example, right now there is a COVID-19. Some people don't have meal, don't have something to eat, but everybody you meet is laughing, is talking, is happy. They got hope for tomorrow. So that smile also, when somebody smiles, you also get to smile. You also feel there is something more than just having worldly belongings. There is something which is so precious to humanity. And that is something which is so precious to humanity that each and everyone knows that is life. If you are alive, you are okay. If you are alive, you can do anything. If you are alive and you don't have something today, tomorrow you can get something that will make you move. So that's the most biggest smile we have. We smile, we laugh, we do a lot of smiling here. When you come here, you laugh, you smile. Thank you for watching my live chat and chat here under the Peace Chats under SCI Service Civil International. For those who are willing to volunteer, please check on Service Civil International platform. There's more opportunities you can pick to volunteer. In Kenya here, we also welcome you. Come volunteer, be part of our team. We live, stay with us. We live, stay with the volunteers. Do everything together as a team. We'll feel this perfect moment that will be able to transform your life. So begin this journey. We look forward to hosting you and being part of our voluntary team. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this chat. And I look forward to sharing with you more later as we try to create the world a global village through online chats that are being offered and provided by Service Civil International so that we connect the world. We are one. Whatever is happening, we are one. And if we stand together as a team, we shall be able to achieve more. If we do things together, if we support each other through voluntary service, we share what you know, you learn a lot. You build a better society, a better community. We are 10 people. I have one idea. Each and everyone has one idea. We share. I live with 10 ideas, not with one idea that I had. That's the key thing of coming together, doing things together. We build a very concrete, sustainable society and community. Thank you. Thank you. May you be blessed and see you once again as we come together to offer you chats. My name again is Julius Khamati Kuya from Kipepeo Community Empowerment Program, a project partner representing Kenya for SCI Civil International. Thank you. Bye, and talk to you once more again later during one of our peace chats again. Kwaheri.